I'm Le Van Ngan. The subject of this presentation is reduce waste deposited in the body to cure diseases. Definition of waste in the body. Waste is the residue excreted by the kidneys in the urine. There are nearly 3,000 different substances in the urine, most of which are degraded substances from the foods we ate and used in the body, such as urea, creatinine, uric acid, etc., that you can learn more about on Wikipedia website. Why is waste deposited in the body the cause of diseases? To understand this, let's revise activities in the body. The lungs absorb oxygen, throw out carbon dioxide. Stomach, intestines absorb nutrients from foods and throw out feces. Kidneys eliminate waste in the urine. There's also brain, spine, heart, liver, gland tendons, etc. Each organ has different functions, but all have the same principle of activity, which is cell, nerve, and circulation. Each cell is a unit of activity of the organ. The nerves are used to control the organ. They pass through some vertebra, crossing the brainstem diagonally to a control center in the brain. Neurology is very complex, but we just have to think that the nerves are like electrical wires whose voltage varies to increase or decrease the activity in the organ as needed. There are 4 circuits: artery, capillaries, vein, and lymphatic circuits. Room number 1 of the heart pumps and supply red blood to all organs. Capillaries have holes to allow oxygen and materials to come out, including waste. Each cell uses oxygen and materials needed to perform its job, and thus generate carbon dioxide, new materials, and new waste. Carbon dioxide is absorbed by red cells in capillaries, change the blood color into blue, and leaves by the vein. The remaining leave by the lymphatic circuits. All the veins join to the main vein. All the lymphatic circuits must pass through lymph node. Each lymph node is a station of white blood cells whose main role is to destroy viruses or dead cells coming out from the organ into waste before pouring to the main vein. Room number 2 of the heart sucks the blue blood. Room number 3 pumps blue blood to the lungs. The lungs throw carbon dioxide, absorb oxygen to change blood to the red, reabsorbed by room number 4, and the cycle of the circulation repeats with room number 1. The circulation shows that the waste is circulated everywhere in the body. Let's follow one piece of waste. After leaving the heart, it goes randomly into a branch. If it's not a kidney, it must go back to the heart again. And since there are several branches, it may take several turns through several organs before going to a kidney to be eliminated. One question: do kidneys eliminate all the waste generated? Of course not. We know that the lymph speed is very slow. In a slow flow, there is always waste stuck around cell structure. This picture shows a perfect organ, but sometime later, the figures become like this. There is waste deposited, but the circulation is still good. Sometime later still, the figures become like this. With a lot of waste deposited, the circulation is affected. The organ is not able to serve on demand, so the symptoms of disease or pain will occur. These black stars represent the waste deposited around vertebrae. Let's take the case of a small accident, a fall, for example. After the fall, we can walk, and often says it does not matter. In fact, some vertebrae have been injured. The blood is circulated slower there. The waste is deposited faster. Sometime later, this waste touches and affects the nerves of some organs. The waste will be deposited faster in this organ and creates disease whose cause is a small accident in the past and forgotten. In summary, if the lymph circulates well, the waste will accumulate slowly, about 100 years to be full. But if there is a cause that slows down the circulation, an accident, morphine, for example, waste will accumulate fast and cause the disease at old age. Take advantage of natural reflexes to reduce deposited waste. Go back to activities in the body and talk about reflexes. Definition of reflex. Here, the term reflex means a region that is not an organ but connected to an organ by nerves. These figures represent a reflex end in the right foot, connected by nerve through the brainstem diagonally to a center end which controls an organ end in the head on the opposite side. If the circulation in end is good, little waste deposited, there's also little waste deposited in reflex end. If we press on it, it's not hurt. This figure shows a reflex M in the left foot, connected by nerve crossing the brainstem to a control center M, which controls the organ M on the same side. If the circulation is bad in M, a lot of waste deposited, there is also a lot of waste in reflex M. If we press on it, it hurts. Let's talk about the lymph speed during a reflex. We assume a speed of 4 millimeters second. If we do not touch reflex M, the speed will be constant. But if we press hard enough, trying to stop the circulation in reflex M, the voltage of the nerves decrease. The speed is decreased to 1 millimeter second, for example. Next, we release quickly. The circulation is restored. The speed is increased from 1 to 6 or 7 millimeter seconds and fluctuates a little before coming back to constant. This fluctuation has an effect of bringing the waste deposited during the last days or the waste of the outer part, outer layer, out of the organ, making the circulation better in the organ. This waste is returned to the circulation, and some of it passed to the kidney to be eliminated. It's good. But some of it may be deposited in the other organs, and that is a negative effect. To avoid the negative effects of reflux, it's necessary to treat reflux for all organs in the body. All these are an axiom demonstrated by the observed facts, very accurate. This page divides the right foot into 59 reflexes. On the lower, on the upper, on the inside, on the outside, with the notes which reflects for what organ. Likewise for the left foot, from number 60 to 120. All the organs in the body are related to about 120 reflexes in 2 feet. This page is a list of some organs, main functions, foot reflexes, related nerves, and possible symptoms if the organ is weakened. This page is a list of common symptoms, possible related organs, and foot reflexes. Some foot reflex techniques to treat aorta using the force of fingers and hands is enough, but using a wooden tool like that will increase the force. To treat jaw and teeth, prostate or uterus, left leg and arm, etc. Conclusions and recommendations. There is always waste accumulated around the cell structure. When this waste interferes with the circulation in an organ, it is no longer able to serve on demand, and illness or pain will occur. Press on a reflex and release has an effect of taking off the waste deposited in the outer layer out of an organ and returning it back to the circulation. Part of this waste passes through the kidneys to be eliminated, thus reducing the waste deposited in the body. Good. But the other part will be deposited in other organs. Not good. It is recommended to treat reflexes with awareness for all organs, including those that are good. Because if you do it nonchalantly, like using a vibrator, rolling your feet on a tool, etc., in the long run, it's bad, because the waste will be deposited more quickly in the untreated region. Method of treating 120 foot reflexes in 30-60 minutes that you can do yourself. Drink water to keep waste circulating longer. Press hard enough on a reflex, 1 to 5 seconds, and release quickly. Repeat a few times. Move to another reflex, and so on, until 120 reflexes are treated. You can stop unfinished and complete the rest later. The strength of fingers may be sufficient, but a tool made of wood, like as shown, helps to increase the pressure, especially if the fingers are not strong enough or if the nails are wrong. Remember all reflexes on the feet to avoid negative effects due to the omissions. Remember also important reflexes of symptoms to help people in case of crisis of pain or fainting in front of you. This method is flexible, costs nothing, and only takes time. You can do it wherever you can, whenever you can. More often it's better, and only you who have time for yourself and your loved ones. This method has no limits. Whether the person is old, young, a baby, ill or healthy, this method is always good for reducing deposited waste, heals, prevents disease, and improves health. If you want to apply this method, download and print this document for practice and consultation when needed. In the future videos, I will talk more in depth of some particular diseases. Have a good success and see you next time.